Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday, July the 5th's Energy Mantra for today. So, today's energy mantra is I ground and recalibrate back into my heart. Again, today's energy mantra is I ground and recalibrate back into my heart. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. So, today's energy mantra, I want to break it down into its component parts. So, first, let's talk about grounding. So, you may hear a lot of people talk about grounding in a lot of different ways. But the way that I have always seen grounding is it's a way for you to come into the present moment. That's really all grounding is to me. And so you can either use the exercise of going outside and putting your bare feet on the ground. You could eat a heavier meal. There's tons of different things that you can do for that grounding. But that's all that grounding is to me, is simply bringing yourself into that present moment, into this present moment. Then, when we talk about recalibrating, to recalibrate really is just saying that we are now going to do a little bit of a self inventory today and say, okay, what was I willing and able to release over last week? And really looking at that and saying, okay, these are the belief systems or these are the things that I dropped that no longer serve me. And now that means I get to act from my new belief system, from the new way of thinking. And that is what we get to do for today. Now, really interesting. The reason the word recalibrate came up was because during my meditation today, what I saw was the peacock. And the peacock, it does represent expression of yourself and creative expression, but it also represents recalibration and coming back into the truth of who you are, back to the heart, if you will, of the matter. And that's really where we want to start heading today, within our hearts. Sometimes I think what happens is we get too caught up in the thinking and we forget to come back down and not even to the feeling, because yes, our feelings important 100%. They're guideposts. And what are they guideposts to? Well, feelings are guideposts to tell us when our thinking is not aligned with love. That's it. That's really what emotions are, at least to me, is I see them as, okay, if I'm feeling a certain way that isn't joyful, isn't happy, isn't contented, isn't in alignment, if you will, then I'm like, okay, so what thoughts am I having that are leading me to these emotions? Once again, what am I doing? I'm grounding myself in the moment, recalibrating my thoughts, my words, my actions, whatever it may be, so that I may come back into the next moment fully aligned back into my heart space, instead of stretching out, that one bad moment or that one thing out over the whole rest of the day. Let's tune in. Let's ground back in to the truth of who we are, because the truth of who we are is joyful, is happy. There are going to be times when you don't feel joyful, when you don't feel happy, and that's okay. It's not to judge yourself. It is merely to say, okay, in this moment, I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling joyful. What thoughts am I having? Because we have to remember that there's always an underlying desire. If we look at the map of the mind, if you will, we have a desire. From that desire, we have a belief. From that belief, we have a thought. From that thought, we have an emotion. From that emotion, we see a perception. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. That's kind of how things manifest, if you will. There is the desire, the belief, the thought, the emotion, and the perception. But so when we're not feeling happy, we have to go, okay, well, here's the feeling. I'm not feeling happy. Okay, what's the thought that is leading me not to feel happy? Okay, from that thought, what is the belief that is now making this thought? And then what is the underlying desire? So we can go really deep down and begin to recalibrate with our desire. And so what's really interesting is if you look at, maybe you have a desire, your desire is for freedom, but you have a belief that you can't be free, which then leads you to thoughts that you are, you're never going to be free, that you're always confined, which then leads to emotions of oppression, leads to emotions of not feeling like you're worthy or good enough, which then leads to a perceptual view of the world of that I can't have that freedom to travel. I can't have that freedom to go where I want. I can't have that freedom to do this. And we are seeing all of our thoughts and beliefs projected back to us, when we have to get back down to that core desire. Okay, the desire is for freedom. The desire is to be secure or feel that security. Let me look at my beliefs that, maybe I've kind of packed away. Here comes that recalibration and that grounding. Let me come back into this moment. What must I believe in order for this to be happening to me? What must I believe? And then we can really do the work from there, because now we're looking at it. We're not just kind of being like, whatever. So today is such a wonderful invitation, such a wonderful day to take all the healing work that you've done and all of the different things that you have learned and kind of bring them all into alignment and implement them all today to the best of your ability. Now, another thing that came into my mind while I was meditating was a country song. It's an old country song. I don't even know the name of it. But the line that kept on repeating to me was, let's see. So I have to do the whole song, otherwise I can't remember that one lyric that really stood out. So it's all right to be little bitty, a little old town in a big old city. Might as well sing, might as well smile. Life goes on for a little bitty while. So right there, might as well sing, might as well smile. Each moment should be savored. So today, also be willing to look at some of your blocks to joy, some of your blocks to happiness, some of your beliefs about happiness, some of your beliefs about joy and its ability to last. Looking at that as well, grounding into that moment, recalibrating. We are meant to be happy. We are meant to be joyful. Like Abraham says, life is meant to be fun. What if my desire is to have a life full of joy, happiness, and fulfillment? Then what must I believe? So what must I believe? If that's not happening, I must have beliefs, which are then creating thoughts, which are then creating emotions, which are then creating a perceptual view that I can't be happy on a continuous basis, that happiness is fleeting, that it is only here or there. And remember, 2 weeks ago, one of our Friday or our weekend contemplation was all about joy, was all about happiness. So we have to really look at that. And I said, today is all about grounding, coming into the moment. So if something disturbs your peace in the moment, whatever it is, let's recalibrate right then, right there. Let's take that opportunity and say, okay, what must I believe in order for this to be happening? And let's take that opportunity to recalibrate back to the truth of who we are. So that is today's energy mantra. I thank you for joining. I thank you for being here. If you're interested in your own personal miracle mindset or about me and any of my services, feel free to come visit awakeningmiracles.org. And for those of you who are on YouTube, you can come over to my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/simplyintuitive, where you can find additional resources for today's energy mantra at 10 a.m., which is the write-up, of today's energy mantra with a little bit more information. And then at 12 p.m. and at 3 p.m. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And I send you all my love and see you tomorrow.